is happening, my friends? What is happening? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation, my friends. Look, a lot of stuff we're going to unpack within this hour. For one, I want to always thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule for tuning into the Aaron to Gavin show. You can be doing anything else with your precious time, but the fact that you take 1 hour of your time to tune into your boy, I truly appreciate that. And please let's keep that momentum going. Share with the friends, share with family, share with anybody that's into just great conversations. They want to tune into the Aaron to Gavin show. Look, my friends, first up, we're gonna I want to follow up with you all on this most recent Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys watched it, but it was dope between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'll share a little bit about that, and then some other stories later on in the program. Um, what else do I need to say? I'm making sure I remember everything. Be sure, that's right. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, as well as Substack at the Arrington Gavin Show. Okay, so just type in the Arrington Gavin Show. You'll find us on those social media platforms. You can also tune into us on our Patreon page. Look, we have some exclusive content at the low $2.99 a month. Look for some exclusive content, exclusive audio clips, as well as just visual clips as well. We share on that platform. So do me a favor, continue to support that as well, because that donation goes into the show, goes into equipment, goes into bringing on great guests and just great conversations as well, because as you know, we are a grassroots independent program. We're just here just to give you some great conversation, great insights, and yeah, we have fun, but we also want to keep you guys informed as well. So be sure to support that. Look, we drop new episodes 5 days a week, Monday through Fridays, available on all digital and streaming platforms. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk in the Metro Atlanta market. You can also listen to us on through their platform online at wdjyfm.com. As I mentioned too, streaming platforms like YouTube and Rumble. Okay, YouTube and Rumble. We drop new episodes 5 days a week at 7 p.m. As well as on podcast platforms, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. And yeah, man, that's that. I think is that the spill? Yep. That's all I have for you. Well, look, let me go ahead because I have some time. Let me go ahead and drop our fun fact of the day before we get going with our show. So on today's fun fact, did you know that pound cake got its name because the original recipe contained a pound of butter, a pound of sugar, a pound of flour, and a pound of eggs? I didn't know that. And you know what? RIP, God rest her soul. My grandmother, my nana, she made amazing pound cakes. When I tell you she made her pound cakes they were legendary, award winning, best pound cakes you ever had. I can eat that every day. But she was known for her pound cakes. She's a great cook all around, but just she was known for a pound cake. So for those who are pound cake lovers out there, you're welcome. Because I bet you wonder, you're like, why do they call just like sakatimi cake? It's desserts and it's household desserts that always has some interesting names. Sakatimi cake, pound cake. What's another one? Death by chocolate. There's so many desserts. I'm like, where did the name come from? Like, to me, obviously, carrot cake simple because boom, you have, I believe, sometimes they will have shredded carrots in the actual cake. What else? Upside down pineapple. Pineapple upside down cake, because literally the pineapple it's on top, but you like flip it upside down, so you kind of eat it. So pineapple upside down cake, I figured that one. And that's amazing too. I love pineapple. There's so many desserts that has interesting names. So I'm like, I feel like we should do a show literally on where did the name originate from this dessert or this meal. You right? There's so many meals with interesting names. I need to write that down. I need to pinpoint that in my brain or on a notepad. I got so many notepads around here. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, my friend. So look, before we move forward, I want to acknowledge some of our proud supporters before we hit to our first commercial break, like our friends over at Rugged Evolution Beard Care. That's right, my friends. Fellas, your beard is more than just hair. It's a statement. Keep it bold, healthy, and rugged with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Our natural products are designed for every beard from stubble to full on lumberjack. Whether it's our nourishing oils, hydrating balms, or invigorating washes, Rugged Evolution is the key to keep your beard with. Oh, I messed that up. Hold on. Rugged Evolution is the key to a beard that commands respect. There we go. That sounds better. Let's see. Because a rugged man deserves a rugged beard. So do me a favor. Shop now by going to ruggedevo.com. That's RUGGEDEVO.com for more information and grab yourself some products. Look, I'm telling you, I'm not just the owner, I'm also a client, and it keeps my beard looking so healthy, so clean, well maintained as well. Because, fellas, for any of you guys with facial hair, whether it's a mustache, goatee, beard, you name it, you have to keep your facial hair taken care of because it is the magnet to bacteria and grease. Look, 17 scented beard balms, beard oils, conditioning shampoos, a line of skincare products as well, facial cleansing washes, exfoliating body wash, exfoliating soaps. What else am I missing out there? Body moisturizing lotion. I mean, they have everything you need to help maintain a healthy beard and just healthy facial hairs. Because, fellas, as important as it is to take care of your body internally, it's important to take care of your body externally as well. So you're welcome for that. All right, my friends, look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere, and please do me a favor. Do not change that dial.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What is happening, y'all? What is happening? What's happening? So check this out. Man, this is I sometimes wear these glasses so I can, I'm always staring into a screen. Look, I want to bring up bring up some takeaways from Super Bowl 59. I believe that is. Is that 59? I think it's Super Bowl 50. Yeah, Super Bowl 59. So I want to bring up some takeaways from that most recent game because I don't know if y'all watched it. Like I was going ham. I couldn't be more happier of the outcome. No hate towards Kansas City. They're an amazing organization. Still the team to beat in the league, in my opinion. Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks of our time currently. Nobody needs to put their head down because they literally just fell short of one of the most important games of their life. But like I said, nothing to be ashamed for or ashamed of. But I want to congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles on winning their second Super Bowl championship, man. I couldn't be more happy for the organization. And congrats to Jalen Hurts, man. He led the troop to the promised land, as well as Saquon. Even though Saquon did not have the best outcome, or the game that he probably predicted to have in Super Bowl. Look, he rushed over 2,000 yards. Was coming close to breaking Eric Dickerson's record this recent season. And offensive player of the year. I mean, he did his thing. He did his job. And so it was beautiful. When I tell you, it proved that defense wins championship. The final score was 40-22, a score that absolutely no one could predict. That form of a butt whooping that Philly was going to bring to Kansas City. Now, don't get me wrong, Philly had the number one defense of this season, but again, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I mean, you added some other pieces of receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. I'm forgetting number one's name. I think he's a rookie or a second year player, 21 years old, ran a 4.21 in the 40. Like he had weapons on there, but guess what? Defense never laid off of Pat Mahomes. They brought the pressure. They were dogging him. I mean, he threw a pick six, which I rarely catch Pat Mahomes throwing pick sixes. And so again, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I'm going to play you this soundbite. For those who are watching, I'm going to share this clip with you. So they had showed the fans out in Philadelphia, and I'm like, hold up. Why is it that Philly fans gotta vandalize everything? Like, what is it? Here's a clip right here. So I don't know if you can see it. Literally, fans took the horses. I believe those are the horses of. I'm pretty sure those are the horses that was on officers. Like, I mean, police officers are out there. They have so many law enforcement in the streets of Philadelphia because they knew, hey, regardless of the outcome, but especially if they win, it was going to be a huge parade. Everybody's going to get rowdy. Everybody's already getting drunk and turned up, and it showed. That was just one video. Let me see if I can. I have another one that I actually shared on my page where they were out there. I don't know how they grabbed it apart, but they broke apart like a telephone pole or something, or a traffic light. Let me see here. I think there we go. That's what I want. And I'm just like, Philly, why can't y'all just be like happy and cheer on without vandalizing crap? Like, that's your taxpaying dollars, right? That's gonna come out of that. And that's probably why they didn't give an F. They just said, "I'll freak it. I'm gonna vandalize this place. It's coming out of my taxpayer money anyway. Who cares? We won. Woo!" You really can't. Well, for those who are watching, look, they literally broke apart a traffic light and they're holding it in the street. I'm telling you, it's insane in my opinion. I mean, but hey, they're so hyped, they're so excited. I understand the excitement, but I don't understand the vandalizing part. I really don't. Like I said, all that fixing up is going to come out of your taxpaying money. So, smart one. Good job for you guys. Good job for you. But yeah, congrats. It was a beautiful game. Kendrick Lamar, hands down, one of the greatest halftimes I've ever witnessed. I won't say but he's definitely in my top 3 of greatest Super Bowl halftime shows of all times in my book. I'm number 1 for me as of right now is Prince, because I was just talking to a buddy of mine. I'm like, Prince literally sung Purple Rain, and guess what? It started raining. Like, you can't predict that. I'm sorry, you can't. I never witnessed Michael Jackson's halftime, but again, it's Michael Jackson. He's one of the best performers of all time, so I'll probably put him at number 2. And just Kendrick brought so much hype and excitement, creativity. I mean, it was just, in the overall numbers, I think was around 133.5 million people tuned into the Super Bowl. Like, it was It broke records. It broke records. So again, I just wanted to kind of give you some follow up with that game. It was a great game. I've actually shared a video on our YouTube page with more of my takeaways because I also mentioned, all the way to the pregame to the special guest that was in attendance to the game, like, sitting President Donald Trump. I shared my opinion on that, but you're gonna have to just tune into the Arrington Gavin show on YouTube, and you can tune into that video. The video is titled Super Bowl 59 takeaways, and very simple, short clip. I give my honest opinion on it, and yeah, we'll go on from there. Look, but let me get it going with some of our topics of the evening. Let's see here. First up, I've been following up about this story of this actress, Carla. Let me see if I can pronounce Carla Sofia Gascon, star of the Emilia Perez film that is receiving a lot of Oscar buzz. But the issue is Carla Sofia Gaston, who's a transgender actress, is receiving some hot water from previous tweets that circulated a while back, like I believe in like 2020 or 2021. And since then, she has been in hot water since the resurface of those tweets. She was criticizing the Oscars, criticizing the Muslim community and George Floyd. I mean, it's like, where did all this come from? So let me, if I can, let me see if I can circle back to some of those, if they have some of those, if they can go back to find some of those tweets. Let me see here. It says here. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Give me a second, my friends. Give me a second. I'm lost my place. Did she? Okay, so she did delete it off X, but I'm trying to see if they. Okay, so let me just read you this article. So at the end of January, journalists recently unheard a whole host of serious problematic tweets that Carla sent between 2022 until recently. As of this year, the tweets were posted in Carlos native Spanish, but the translations were incredibly damning, with Carla repeatedly expressing anti-Muslim sentiment, targeting diversity at the Oscars, and even making some wild offensive statements about George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. In it, Carla allegedly quoted tweeting a news story about Selena and Hailey Bieber, and apparently wrote in Spanish, "She's a rich rat who plays the poor, excuse my friends, the poor bastard whenever she can and will never stop bothering her ex-boyfriend and his wife." Wow. While the tweet doesn't name Selena specifically, it doesn't take a genius to figure out who she was speaking about, because Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez were together the longest prior to him and his current wife, Hailey Bieber. At the time, Haley Baldwin. However, it says in one of her multiple statements about the social media scandal, Carla appeared to suggest that this tweet had been fabricated, after insisting that she is not a racist and claiming they had already won. They had achieved their objective to stain my existence with lies or things taken out of context. Now, to play a little devil's advocate, it is always interesting when questionable tweets always come out to life when somebody is on top. I don't know if you can recall when Kevin Hart was booked to host the Oscars for the very first time. A huge honor for him, a huge, career jump, as well as when you have people that host the Oscars, it's because they're top tier, comedians. Jimmy Kimmel's hosted multiple times, Chris Rock, I believe Billy Crystal has hosted the show multiple times, Whoopi Goldberg, and the list goes on and on and on. Kevin Hart was going to be in line to host that. Then they found some tweets that was alarming, and it was offensive towards the LGBTQ plus community, and so they were trying to cancel Kevin Hart. He went on this apology tour, and obviously America has apologized, has forgiven him, and the rest is history, right? He's continued to be successful. Same old Kevin Hart, whatnot after that. That's just one example. But there's so many folks you can bring up to say, okay, look, whenever an individual is on top of the world, they find some form of scandal to kind of push back all that stuff. Now, in this case, my question is, why did this come about now? Why did this come about? Did the journalist always have this information, and she just said, well, look, now that she's in the limelight, now that she's so successful, people have to know the real truth about this individual? Because there were some alarming things. I won't repeat it, but yeah, she said some alarming things that was said. And there's so there's folks on I'm just reading some of the comments saying that the Academy should pull her nomination. She's post racist tweets for years. Geez, years. And I'm unaware of who this figure is. I never heard of this film, to be honest. I think that's one thing that's interesting when I watch the Oscars or the Golden Globes. It's a lot of awards that I'm like, I ain't never even heard of this movie. What is this about? It's always the films that it's like you never will say, just won an award. That was corny. Like, no, I never heard of it. So anyway, this person came to my attention after seeing how many awards they were winning. Selena Gomez had broke her silence, obviously saying this is, it took away the joy and the magic from the film success because of all this backlash her co-stars facing, and it's even more hurtful because hey, it's words that was said about her that she's like, wow, really she's saying it took away the magic. It took away the magic. And let's be honest, Hollywood is already suffering because of the new administration. Let's just be honest. When it comes to Hollywood, that's all liberals, all Democrats. So they're already not too thrilled, with the new administration. And on top of that, too, Los Angeles, a good portion of it was burned to the ground due to the wildfire. So it's just like it's a really rough time in the Hollywood space at the moment. Let me see here. It says here that the movie is being nominated for no less than 13 Academy Awards, in spite of being heavily criticized by audience for its representation of the Mexican community. The film I'm talking about is Emilia Perez. Carla herself made history as the first openly trans actor to be nominated for the Best Actress Oscar, but she is no longer expected to stand a chance of winning, with the Netflix even cutting ties with her by refusing to fund her attendance at any future shows or events for Emilia Perez. Obviously she's catching heat. She is catching heat. Now she's been winning her award since then. I haven't, the Oscars, I believe, hasn't been aired yet, but the Screen Actors Guild or the Critics' Choice, all those, she's been winning her awards, right? Hasn't been in attendance. What Netflix is saying, because this film is on Netflix, what Netflix is saying is that we're not going to fund any of your promotional things where we're not paying for your travel, we're not paying for your stay, we're not. You can go if you want to, but we're trying to say no. You need to please, for the sake of this film, just you got to stay under on the low. And honestly, she should. Now she's apologized obviously for saying she's not a racist, this and the other. But when you make tweets like that publicly, that is seen as offensive. That is obviously offensive to the Muslim community, to the black community. Now, again, the Black Lives Matter movement, again, you're offending the black culture. Now, the organization, I can't speak for the organization. I can speak for the cause, but I can't speak for the organization. I'm just speaking as a cause, especially as a black man. Any back and forth you have against the cause, in my opinion, yeah, that's offensive. All right. That is very offensive. And it's just so interesting. And I'll be honest, coming from a trans person, because you are you're a minority. You're a Hispanic. You're a Hispanic. You're part of the Hispanic community, and you're part of the LGBTQ plus community. So I'm like, where does that come from? Like, how could you make such harmful things in tweets, and you are the minority? That's why I always scratch my head when I hear thoughts, when I hear opinions from Caitlyn Jenner. I'll be honest, I do. Because now she is a strong conservative, Trump supporter. I mean, does Caitlyn Jenner agree that there's only two genders? I mean, seriously, it's interesting. It really is interesting when I hear and see and read stories about this. In my opinion, it's interesting. But my friends, we will continue to follow up. I'm never gonna keep you guys in the last place. I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting on what's gonna be the latest thing. Look, I'll keep you guys posted on this story. But again, actress or Emilia Perez star Carla Sofia Gascon has issued an apology after her nasty tweets about Muslims, George Floyd, and Oscar diversity. So we will continue to follow up and see what what the Academy would do. I doubt it that they would take her nomination away, because as difficult as it is, you can separate the person from the art form. You can't take those accomplishments away from the artist. I mean, let's be honest. As Diddy is in deep doo-doo currently, that's just an example. Diddy's in deep doo-doo at the moment. They're not taking his awards and his accomplishments. You just can't. You can't. Now again, I mean, same with the late O.J. Simpson. You can't take his Hall of Fame honor away and all those accomplishments in sports. You can't. You just can't. So they're not going to take this actress nomination away. They won't. Now, most likely, it will most likely affect her winning this award. Now, if she does win, woo, that will be awkward. Very awkward. I think that'll be more awkward than Will Smith winning his Oscar, his first Oscar. This fool gonna want to act like he ain't got no home training, slap Chris Rock, and then later on, everybody's all awkward and like, whoa, what just happened? This is weird. Like, what the heck? Did this really happen? And guess what? The man gonna win. The man wins his award. Stupid. Let's see here, my friends. What do we have next up? I want to talk about this. So recently, I love to tune into I'm a Bill Maher fan. I am a big Bill Maher fan. Bill Maher, comedian, actor, host of Real Time on HBO. He's also a host of the podcast Club Random, where he sits down with random folks. Um, when he sits down with random folks, from politicians to was it politicians to um oh Lord, I'm having a brain fart because I got sidetracked. I'm reading the text from a friend of mine who just politicians, entertainers, athletes, influential figures, philanthropists, you name it. He spoke with all of them, and I've always enjoyed it because he speaks with folks that that's in agreement with him as far as politically, and he brings on folks that is the opposite. That does not agree with his politics. And I just received an invite from one of my political friends. I'm pretty popular. Somebody's running for re-election. Okay, I'll definitely make it the trip. All right, so yeah, he sat down with folks like Kid Rock, who I would say, would I have Kid Rock on? I'll be, I would want to interview Kid Rock. He's interviewed folks like Jane Seymour. What's the PPD podcast? Was it Patrick something David something like that. Patrick Bet David. There we go. That's his name. He's sat down with everybody. I'm Luke Bryan. I'm thinking of his most recent ones. Has he interviewed? Oh, Cheech and Chong. Stephen. What's his name? Stephen A. Smith. Greg Gunfeld. He's interviewed so many folks, which I'm like, I'm all for, because I'm all for conversation. I'm an advocate of folks having that just that great conversation. You can agree to disagree, and it's nothing wrong with that. So I pulled a few clips from that sit down because recently he sat down with Matt Gaetz. Now I'll be honest, that might be a person I would not want to entertain, waste my time with, just because, hey, yes, I don't agree with you. He has a creepy vibe to me. I wouldn't want to interview. I wouldn't want to invite him to my show for an interview. What is that going to do? What is that going to do? I'm not desperate for ratings, even though I am, but I'm not desperate for ratings like that, to the form where I would just sell my soul and be like, oh, let me bring on him, the man that was accused of having intimacy with a minor, the man that was hated by his colleagues in Congress, and now he has a weeknight show, on one of the farthest of the farthest right-wing networks in OAN. I think I'll pass. But hey, Bill Maher gave him his big break, which is probably the only big interview that Matt Gaetz will ever have in his post-political career. Let me go ahead and play you these. Let me see here. There we go. Let me go ahead and play some of these clips from that sit down. Now, the episode of this was on Club Random, by the way. Let me kind of explain it a little better. Bill Maher had welcomed former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. I guess you can call disgraced Congressman Matt Gaetz on his podcast Club Random. Now, these are just a few clips that I pulled from that show, and like I said, you can feel free to watch it on your own after this one. But these are just a few clips that I pulled from the conversation that they had. So here we go.
I just want to tell you, that's just a stupid way to start a conversation.
So you think
you peaked 20 years ago, Bill? Let's be friends.
No, it's not peaking.
That's what you just said.
It's a better artistic presentation of your work.
First of all, you're wrong. So you could say to me, I like that show too, but it's certainly not better than Real Time. It just isn't. It was what it was. It was a design train wreck. People from different walks of life. Maybe you were young, it appealed to you more then. What don't you like about the current show?
I think it's good. It's not a criticism of the current show. Look,
I just want to tell you, that's just a but
do you think
everybody's like their opinion.
Do you think part of that is attention span is so fleeting now? Like when we would create content in my congressional office, like the young staffers would come in and say, oh, if it's above like 8 seconds, you're losing audience at such a rapid pace.
It's so interesting that we're doing a podcast, which if you do just an hour, the audience thinks that's too short. I get what you're saying. I've asked this question many times. I don't get the attention span of the American public. It seems to be either 8 seconds or 2 hours. Oh, but everybody's like their opinion. Than anything else. Okay. So, and that's why the left hates me too. The far left really hates me. And I welcome their hatred because I just will not carry the water
Why do you think
of all their insanity or yours.
Well, and by the way, no one's asking
annexing Greenland
or buying it.
Buying it is different. See, again, let's just be honest. Come on, we're just guys talking here. Than anything else. Okay.
So I will say, it was interesting seeing it because literally that first clip where you can hear the frustration in Bill Maher towards Matt Gaetz. That was like, I feel like 5 minutes into the show. Like, I'm like, whoa, this man is already starting off the bat going ham on Matt Gaetz. Because again, Matt Gaetz was not a likable guy while in office. He's still not a likable guy to this day. Like, he's just that one that you just cringe and like, he really makes me sick. So I just thought but it was very on brand with the podcast Club Random. You don't know what's happening, or who will be coming behind that door, sitting in the chair, talking with Bill Maher. But throughout that show, it was, they found ways to have cordial conversation. Obviously, like, and I know towards the end, they obviously had their disagreements because Matt Gaetz spoke so highly of Representative, I believe it's Colorado Representative Lauren Boebert, who's a character, and it's just folks that Bill Maher has heavily criticized. Matt Gaetz was praising and saying, "Oh, they're good Americans." And so there were moments where he was speaking as like, "Hey, I'm the guy that doesn't bend the knee for the party. I'm for the people. I'm for this. I'm for that." And there were moments where you can almost seem like he sound like if it was such thing as like a progressive Republican, maybe. Like, he was somebody that wasn't a traditional, hey, I'll do whatever the party tells me to do. No, because he wasn't that guy. Let's not forget when Kevin McCarthy was was getting voted to be Speaker of the House, and he dealt with one person that continued to really nag him and prevent that from happening, and that was Matt Gaetz. And I think towards the end, he pretty much helped get Kevin McCarthy ousted, taken from that position, because now you have a new guy in Mike Johnson. Yeah, Mike Johnson, I believe his name is. So it really, till the end, Kevin McCarthy and Matt Gaetz do not, see eye to eye. There was a clip during the last RNC, last year's RNC, where you would have thought they would have gone, they're about to start fighting. Like, it was that intense. And just people did not like Matt Gaetz, man. They did not like him. A lot of his conservative colleagues were not happy when, at the time, President-elect Donald Trump wanted to appoint him as Attorney General. People were not happy about that. And Democrats like, oh, please nominate him so people can see what kind of fool you are. Like, it was insane. But he then, excused himself from the nomination. And like I said, he's out of Congress. He left Congress. Now he has a weeknight show, which, Gaetz is all Hollywood, man. He did politics to be on TV. Politics is not his lane, man. He wants the TV time. That man has had Looks like he has facelifts, tans, the eyebrows be all the way up here. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. There was at one point, there's a clip showing him and another disgraced congressman, George Santos, talking about which proper makeup to use. And I mean, it was just clown and stuff. It was like weird, like I don't know. It's just it was weird in my opinion. But here's an interesting thing. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, this is his last term in office. So rumor has it that his wife might be considering running. But there's also rumors that Congressman Byron Donald might be wanting to take a leap and run for the governor's race. But here's what I'm thinking. What if Matt Gaetz? What if Matt Gaetz takes a jab and attempts to run for governor of Florida? Woo-wee. That Republican ticket is going to be looking crazy. I mean, 2 MAGA, very high. Well, I guess 3 if Ron DeSantis' wife runs for governor. Again, I mean, I think it's definitely a guarantee that Byron Donald will run. He's currently a congressman. He's loved by Trump as well, but I think he will make a run for that. But at the end of the day, I mean, Matt Gaetz was reelected multiple times in his, from his district. So would the majority of Florida want Matt Gaetz? No. I don't know. But as I digress from that story, y'all, let's take another commercial break, my friends. Again, you are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host, Arrington Gavin. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. What's happening, people? What's happening? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, next up on the conversation list, former President Joe Biden, good old Joe from Scranton, Delaware, wherever he's at. He lives in Delaware now, but he was from Scranton, PA. It was just announced that he will be signing with a talent agency, CAA, which stands for Creative Artists Agency. That's right, Creative Artists Agency. So me personally, I'm like, Joe, sit your ass down. What you over here? But hey, I all former presidents, they always get some form of like a deal with the I think book deals, speaking engagements, things like that. A sit down conversation with former President Joe Biden, a memoir about his life. And I mean, because if you think about it, Joe Biden has been elected official since he was like what, 30 or 29. Like he first got he first got a taste of politics at a very young age. So he's now 82. So you can think of the stories and this and that for the true fans of his. That will be like, oh, I can't wait to read up on this story and this and any other. Personally, no offense, Joe, I don't want to hear anything about you no more. I really don't. Like, I've said to this day, I was over it after the election cycle. I didn't agree with the fact that you pardoned like your almost like 5 members of your family, 5 towards the end, when there were so many other folks that you easily could have pardon that folks have been writing signatures on, this and that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan, so I can really care less about this. But hey, man still got to make money. Says here, this is reported by the BBC that former U.S. President Joe Biden has signed with a Los Angeles talent agency, marketing a significant step in shaping his presidency career. The signing marks a reunion with creative artist agency, which previously represented him from 2017 to 2020. I quote this from the co-chair of the CAA. President Biden is one of America's most respected and influential voices in the national and global affairs. He probably was back then. I don't know if he is now. I mean, it'll be an honor to meet him. Look, it'll be an honor to meet him. He had views that I agreed with. It was just, towards this period, man, I could not disagree with him more. I could not. His lifelong commitment to public service is one of unity, optimism, dignity, and possibility. We are profoundly honored to partner with him again. So they also have ties with the former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Which again, I mean, that makes it as probably the biggest client. What happened to my notes? Says here that the 82-year-old has remained largely quiet about the plans following his five-decade y'all career in public office. But when leaving the White House recently, he reassured supporters saying, "We're leaving office. We're not leaving the fight." All right. What does that consist in, my friend? Because you got to get your rest, because there's a lot happening right now with these next 4 years. I mean, it's happening right now as we speak. So I haven't seen him do a lot of talking. I haven't. I mean, you're out of office, dude. Like, what has he responded to him? I think, wasn't it? Oh gosh, it was something that Trump recently revoked privileges for Biden, and I can't remember, and it's going to come to me very late. Y'all, I told you I got learning disability, so my brain is always kind of all around the place, so I can't remember that, but Biden has not said anything since inauguration. Really, he has not said anything besides, during our recent welcome home, welcome home. Give me a break. So yeah, that's that. He's signing, book deals, whatever. So nothing really important, but I'm gonna digress from that and moving on to my next story, because I'm looking at my time and I do want to share some other stories, which I think is quite interesting. So this one I want to share with you all. It says here, Hollywood's greats like Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, Billy Bob Thornton is pushing Hollywood to leave California for Texas, which I think is interesting, because one thing I've noticed is everybody's trying to move entities to the big state of Texas, right? Silicon Valley moved from California to Texas. All the comedy scene, some, not all, but a good significant number of comedians have moved from the California area to Texas, led by, in my opinion, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan helped bring a lot of California, West Coast comedy to Texas. Ron White's out there. Crazy Roseanne Barr is out there in Texas. I mentioned Silicon Valley. Matthew McConaughey. I mean, and it's interesting because Woody Harrelson, I thought he lived in Hawaii. So I guess he has a spot in Texas too. But I just thought it was interesting because what is the reason behind folks moving to Texas, especially away from California to Texas? Dennis Quaid is another actor was saying, "Hey, look, you need to bring everything to Texas." This article right here is okay. Hold on, let me read this article reported by Fox News. Give me 1 second, my friends, because like I said, I'm pressing with time, but I'm gonna get it. Let's see here. see if this will good. Okay, here we go. So says here that is this gonna give me the same old thing? Is like let me see if I can give you the full in contents. Let's see here. Okay, it says here that after Matthew McConaughey has previously hinted a possible political run to Texas, has teamed up with fellow Texan film stars to advocate for increase in film production and incentives in the Lone Star State, a move that is dividing local Republicans. They asked, obviously why it matters. Many states offer film production incentives, including tax credits and grants to attract productions and boost local economies. Pharrell had attempted to do it. I spoke about recently that he was supposed to be. He had filmed a project out in the Virginia Beach area, and that was canceled. I remember one of the Mission Impossible films was filmed in Virginia. It does help economic growth for the area when a film and when stars come to the area to do projects like that. It says here, while California, which is the home of Hollywood, provides competitive advantages, states such as Georgia, Louisiana, New York, Illinois, and Massachusetts are, among others, also offering strong incentives. Texas incentives appear to be less competitive by comparison. McConaughey, who has floated potential gubernatorial runs in the state, but has not formally stated his political affiliation, in pushing a new campaign to lure more film and television products away from Hollywood and into Texas in effort to revitalize the state's entertainment industry and ensure the Texas stories have a Texas backdrop. The move has divided Texas Republicans, and I can kind of see why it can divide the Texas Republicans, because you have so many, old school folks that's like, hey, look, I understand we have a great state, it's affordable to live, great food, great weather, but I want it to stay just the way it is. I don't want more people to pile up in our state. I don't bring so much attention for that, because one way or the other, more people comes in, guess what? Value and rates and taxes, everything's gonna shoot up. Yes, that will occur. That's just like here in my hometown of Virginia. We're right next to parts of the Carolinas. Some folks will move to Carolina because it was more affordable over there, and they might work in the over the line in Virginia, but they're like, it's more expensive to live here than it is in Carolina. But then more folks are saying, well, more people keep on moving over here to Carolina. We want to keep it just the way it is. They're piling up there, starting to bring this and bring that. We don't like it that way. I think it's quite interesting. I think, Texas is a great. I mean, I'm a fan of Texas. I've only been to really a couple of cities. Houston was one I really enjoyed. I want to attend Austin sometime. I want to attend San Antonio. I want to attend all the cities. Texas, in my opinion, never has a bad rep. Yes, it's a red state, but when I was in Texas, I never had a bad time. Never had a bad time. Like I said, great food, great weather, great scenery. It was dope. I enjoyed it. But yeah, a lot of folks are moving more to that comfortable life in the Lone Star State. And so California is running people away, whether it's the affordability out there, because expensive as hell to live out there. Natural disasters, wildfires, earthquakes, mudslides, homelessness, right? There's so much happening in that state where it's like, enough is enough. I mean, I don't know if you remember the old story with what's his name? Oh God, what's his actual name? Not Matt Damon. Damn it, Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg. He had moved his family out from California to Nevada. He's like, hey, I want to raise my kids out there. It's safer. It's comfortable. I'm not too far from work if I need to do a film here and this and that. I don't feel like I don't think California or Hollywood is a place to raise my family and stuff like that. So hey, he voiced his opinion and reason to do it, and it seems like a lot of people are acknowledging that through different reasons. This is one reason with the actors. So I'll continue to follow up with this because I thought this was an interesting story. When I read this, how am I looking at time? I got about 4 minutes. Let me see if I can swing this for the next 4. My friends. So this story right here is the final one we have. I'll read it pretty quickly. There we go. Stephen A. Smith, who I'm a huge fan of, by the way. This article reported by Awful Announcing, I think it's called Awful Announcing. Now I'm rushing through this, my friends. I might continue this on the next show, but Awful Announcing, this article I was reading, and it said the Joe Roganization of Stephen A. Smith is here. Now this, and I don't know the qualities or how accurate this publication is, but it says that Stephen A. Smith is riding the coattails of Donald Trump's election as president to become a conservative media star. Now that I don't agree with, because Stephen A. Smith is known to be I won't say not known to be a controversial person, but he is known to be a pro debater, right? He is extremely sharp and skilled at his job when it comes to debating. For the past 13 years, he's been the highest, the most paid personality on ESPN, because he's a star on First Take. He now hosts his own YouTube show called The Stephen A. Smith Show, where he speaks a little bit about everything: sports, pop culture, politics, you name it. And he's always been known to never pick a side, which I enjoy. He's always been, he's a registered independent. He's spoken his frustration about the Republican Party. He's spoken his frustration about the Democratic Party. He went viral by, saying that, folks that voted for Kamala Harris, man, we feel like fools now. And because he was also one of them who had voted for Kamala Harris. Let me actually take this image off right here, guys, because I'm looking at my time. But when I saw this article, I was like, what do they mean, the Joe Roganization? So just in really quick details, and again, I'll do like a part 2 on the next episode, but I think his strategy is sharp, because again, it's not about being an opportunist, because as you see, I have, for those who are watching, I have the question: Stephen A. Smith fair or an opportunist? Meaning, like, does he really truly like to play fair, or does he like it because he knows it will give him, it will lead him to avenues of like, ooh, when it comes to the digital space, a lot of conservative outlets are the ones that are the most popular, the most money generated, and the opportunities. Hey, we got a conservative president for the next 4 years, so that can lead me to the White House as far as with an interview or something like that. We don't know. But my friends, look, my time is running very low, so I'll continue this conversation on the next one. But as always, thank you so much for tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. And look, I appreciate you guys. Continue to support. 5 days a week, as I mentioned, Monday through Fridays, available on all digital and streaming platforms. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our Rumble channel, and listen to us on all podcast platforms. Peace and blessings. You all stay safe out there. I'm out.